Silence holds secrets few ever notice. In the quiet, the world reveals truths that words can never capture. Today, I will guide you into a hidden dimension of stillness, where your mind sharpens, your spirit deepens, and the movements of divine energy become visible, even when nothing seems to happen. This is not empty calm. This is presence, real presence. Shaolin masters have walked this path for centuries. They discovered that the mind acts most clearly when the noise fades away, when thoughts settle like sediment in a river. Every gesture, every breath, every subtle shift in energy can be felt, but only by those willing to step aside from the clamor of life. Few understand that in these moments, speaking or forcing action can block forces far greater than yourself. In this video, you will uncover the quiet power that shapes destiny. You will learn why restraint can be stronger than action, why watching rather than speaking can reveal paths invisible to most, and how mastering silence can awaken a hidden force within you. I will share lessons drawn from ancient Shaolin wisdom, combined with practical insights to help you harness your own energy, sharpen your awareness, and align with the flow of higher purpose. By the end of this journey, you will begin to sense the subtle movements of life and understand why the greatest victories often come not from noise and force, but from patient observation and inner stillness. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire, a place where ancient wisdom ignites the spirit and guides the seeker within you. Subscribe now and step with me into the hidden art of silence, where every quiet moment is a doorway to mastery. There's a rhythm to life that cannot be hurried. Each moment carries its own weight, its own signal, and when we learn to listen, we begin to hear the pulse of the universe itself. Life unfolds in ways that often seem random, yet beneath the surface, every event moves with precise timing, like water carving paths through stone over centuries. To act too soon is to clash with this flow. To act too late is to miss the opportunity altogether. The path of mastery is not measured by constant motion, but by understanding when stillness is stronger than effort. Shaolin masters often speak of the hidden moment, the instant when the energy of the world aligns perfectly with your own intention. Those who cannot recognize it move blindly, forcing outcomes that the universe never intended. Patience is not simply waiting, it is a deliberate, conscious alignment with forces far greater than ourselves. It is the courage to hold space, to feel the weight of time, and to trust that the right action will present itself without demand or struggle. I have seen this countless times in the training halls. A student strikes too early and misses the flow of the opponent. Another waits too long and the opportunity vanishes. True mastery lies in sensing the invisible currents beneath the surface. The moment when cause and effect meet, when preparation and destiny intersect. In those rare instances, silence is the ally. Observation is the teacher, and patience is the weapon. Recognizing divine timing transforms every choice. It allows life to move without resistance and empowers the soul to act with clarity and purpose. When you attune yourself to this rhythm, every decision becomes effortless, every step guided, and even the most uncertain path is illuminated by the quiet certainty of the right moment. The mind is like still water. When undisturbed, it reflects the world with perfect clarity, capturing even the smallest detail of life around it. Shaolin masters teach that this reflection is the mind's true nature. It is neither good nor bad, neither controlled nor chaotic. It simply mirrors reality. But the moment distraction enters, the surface ripples and the reflection distorts. Thoughts, desires, and fears cloud the water, hiding the subtle patterns of truth beneath. To master oneself, one must first master the mind. This does not mean silencing thoughts entirely, but learning to observe them without attachment. Like watching leaves float across a river, each thought arises, passes, and disappears. By noticing without clinging, the mind becomes a mirror once again, capable of reflecting not only the visible world, but the hidden movements of life itself. Ancient Shaolin philosophy calls this inner clarity the ability to perceive beyond the surface, to see the signals that guide action, timing, and purpose. Inner mastery requires discipline. Daily practices of meditation, mindful breathing, and careful observation train the mind to settle like sediment in still water. Over time, the constant chatter of ego softens, and subtle guidance begins to emerge. It may be a quiet intuition, a sense of alignment, or an unmistakable feeling of direction. The universe speaks softly, and only a mind trained to reflect clearly can hear. This mirror is more than a tool for perception. It is a gateway to understanding. By seeing reality as it is, uncolored by judgment or fear, one connects to a higher order of wisdom. Every decision becomes informed by this clarity. Every action flows naturally from alignment rather than force. Through discipline, patience, and mindful observation, the mind becomes a vessel capable of perceiving divine guidance and moving in harmony with the deeper currents of existence. Energy is not seen, yet it is felt in every movement, every thought, every intention. Ancient Shaolin masters understood this deeply. The body is a vessel, the mind a channel, and life itself flows where attention is directed. Energy is sacred, and how it is used determines the strength of action and the clarity of perception. Those who scatter it carelessly find themselves exhausted, reactive, and blind to the subtle currents that guide life. Discipline over energy begins with awareness. Notice where your focus drifts, how emotions surge, and how tension gathers in the body. Each moment spent in thoughtless activity drains vital force. Conserving energy is not avoidance, it is preparation. It is the wisdom of the warrior who waits in silence, the patience of the monk who breathes steadily, knowing that the right moment will demand precision and presence. Only when energy is preserved can it be directed with purpose, sharp as a blade, potent as fire, yet fluid as water. Mindful breathing is the first step. With each inhalation, the body receives life. With each exhalation, tension and distraction are released. Breathing becomes a rhythm, a tether to the present, and a channel for the flow of internal energy. Body awareness follows, sensing where vitality is blocked or scattered, and gently guiding it back to balance. Shaolin traditions speak of cultivating qi, not as mystical force alone, but as refined, conscious energy that unites body, mind, and spirit. Through practice, energy becomes a tool for mastery, not a burden. Actions are no longer wasteful or reactive. They are deliberate, aligned with inner rhythm and external reality. Life responds to this discipline. Every step, every gesture, every decision carries power because it is rooted in presence and cultivated energy. In learning to honor and direct this force, the practitioner transforms ordinary moments into opportunities for extraordinary impact, moving through life with quiet strength and unwavering clarity. Impulse is the whisper of the ego, a sudden surge that demands action before thought can settle. It is born from fear, desire, or the need for recognition, and it moves swiftly, often leaving regret in its wake. Shaolin masters teach that every moment contains a choice to act hastily or to pause, observe, and respond with clarity. True mastery is found not in reaction, but in restraint. In the training halls of Shaolin, students learn to wait. A strike must not come from haste, a movement not from impatience. Every gesture is measured, every decision deliberate. By practicing stillness, the practitioner sees impulses for what they are, passing shadows of the mind, not commands of reality. To yield to them is to hand over control. To observe and hold silence is to claim it back. Staying silent during critical moments is a form of strength few recognize. Silence cultivates patience, sharpens perception, and allows inner wisdom to surface. In these quiet intervals, the mind evaluates, the heart aligns, and the body prepares. The world may seem to demand immediate reaction, yet those who have mastered themselves know that timing and intention are more powerful than speed or force. Control over self is the foundation for mastery over circumstances. A calm mind reads the currents of life, an unshaken spirit moves with precision rather than chaos. Every thought held, every breath measured, every hesitation honored is a lesson in power. Impulses do not disappear, they remain, but their grip weakens as awareness grows. The Shaolin way is a path of subtle victories, often invisible to others, yet profound in their effect. By mastering impulse, the practitioner transforms reaction into choice, chaos into order, and fleeting desire into purposeful action. In this discipline, life begins to bend not through force, but through quiet mastery of the self. The mind and heart are landscapes, ever-changing and full of hidden currents. Emotions rise like waves, thoughts drift like clouds, desires flare like sparks. To navigate life with wisdom, one must become a careful observer of these inner movements. Shaolin masters have long taught that true guidance does not come from outside. It arises from attentive awareness within. Observation begins with stillness. When the body rests and the mind quiets, emotions can be seen without judgment, thoughts without attachment, and desires without impulse. This is not detachment in the sense of indifference. It is a profound attentiveness that allows the subtle signals of the inner world to reveal themselves. Each feeling, each urge carries a message, if one is willing to notice. Through consistent inner observation, a pattern emerges. Moments of tension or excitement, hesitation or clarity signal when action aligns with higher forces. Shaolin philosophy emphasizes that the timing of action is inseparable from understanding one's own state. Acting without awareness is like sailing in a storm without feeling the wind. It leads to turbulence and wasted energy. Acting with awareness, even in stillness, transforms instinct into choice. Awareness is a form of discipline. It requires patience, focus, and courage to face the truth of one's own mind. Yet this discipline is also liberation. By observing without being consumed, instinctive reactions soften into conscious decisions. Anger becomes measured resolve, fear becomes careful preparation, desire becomes mindful pursuit. The path of inner observation is subtle, quiet, and continuous. It is not marked by grand gestures, but by the steady cultivation of clarity and understanding. Those who practice it learn to move through life in alignment with deeper currents, sensing when the moment for divine action arises. In this way, the self becomes a mirror, the mind a compass, and awareness a guide toward choices that are both deliberate and aligned with purpose. There is a quiet power in stepping aside. Not every moment demands action. Not every conflict requires interference. Shaolin wisdom teaches that true strength often lies in restraint, in the ability to witness without rushing to alter what is already unfolding. The world moves according to patterns we rarely see, and forcing change can disrupt currents that have been set in motion long before our arrival. In the training halls of the ancients, students learned to observe before acting. They watched the flow of energy in each stance, the timing of each movement, and the subtle signals of opponents and allies alike. Through this practice, they understood that by holding space, by resisting the urge to impose, they could align themselves with the natural order. Action becomes not a reaction to chaos, but a precise expression of harmony. Non-interference is not indifference. It is disciplined awareness, a willingness to allow life to unfold while remaining fully present. By observing with calm focus, the mind notices opportunities that would otherwise be hidden. Signs emerge, guidance reveals itself, and energy finds its path. When intervention is truly required, it arrives effortlessly, precise and powerful, born from understanding rather than impulse. This art is mirrored in every moment of life. A word withheld can prevent conflict. Patience can allow insight to emerge. Silence can reveal what hurried speech cannot. The universe moves through those who honor the flow, and by cultivating the discipline to step back, the practitioner becomes a conduit rather than a barrier. Through non-interference, mastery extends beyond skill or strength. It is the wisdom to recognize when presence alone is enough, the courage to trust the unseen, and the subtle power to act in alignment with forces greater than oneself. In this stillness, the highest influence is often felt, not imposed, and the world moves with a rhythm that only those who observe can truly follow. True mastery begins when the mind, body, and spirit move as one. Each thought carries weight, each action leaves a trace, and each intention shapes the unseen currents around us. Shaolin philosophy teaches that personal power is not found in strength alone, but in the harmonious alignment of these three elements. When they are united, life flows with clarity, energy becomes precise, and every choice resonates with purpose. In the ancient halls, monks devoted themselves to practices that foster this integration. Meditation stills the mind, revealing the patterns beneath surface thoughts. Forms, the physical sequences of movement, train the body to act with awareness and precision. Controlled breathing connects both mind and body to a deeper energy, the life force that flows through every living thing. Together, these practices cultivate a seamless union where intention guides movement, thought informs action, and spirit anchors both. Alignment is more than coordination. It is presence in its purest form. The mind knows what must be done. The body executes without hesitation, and the spirit maintains connection to the higher order of existence. In this state, even the subtle shifts of life are perceived. Timing, opportunity, and the quiet guidance of the universe are recognized and honored. Every action becomes a reflection of inner balance, every decision an expression of harmony. Those who cultivate this integration move with calm strength. They are neither rushed by circumstance nor pulled by impulse. Obstacles are met with clarity, challenges with centered awareness. The energy of mind, body, and spirit flows unbroken, allowing insight and action to emerge simultaneously. Through alignment, mastery is no longer a distant goal but a living experience. Life itself becomes a mirror of discipline, awareness, and intentionality. In this unity, the practitioner not only acts with power but also receives guidance, moving in perfect resonance with the timing of forces greater than themselves. True power does not announce itself. It moves quietly, like a river carving stone over centuries, shaping the world without spectacle or demand. Shaolin wisdom teaches that humility is not weakness, it is the foundation of lasting mastery. To act with humility is to release the need for praise, approval, or recognition, and to focus instead on the alignment between intention and action. In the training halls, students learned that the most skilled monk was often the one who spoke the least. Movements executed without show, decisions made without fanfare, and discipline practiced in silence carry a strength far greater than words can convey. Acting silently allows the work itself to reveal its impact, and the results become testimony to skill, patience, and purpose. The universe responds not to ego, but to integrity, consistency, and presence. Humility strengthens connection to a purpose beyond self. When the mind is free from the need for recognition, awareness expands. Actions are guided by alignment rather than desire for reward, and every choice becomes an offering rather than a performance. This principle extends beyond physical mastery into thought, speech, and intention. Each act, however small, contributes to a larger harmony, and the practitioner becomes a vessel through which higher forces move. The practice of humility is a discipline of the spirit. It requires constant self-reflection and a willingness to relinquish control over outcomes. In doing so, the practitioner discovers freedom, clarity, and inner power. Even when unnoticed by others, the work resonates with energy and purpose, rippling outward in ways that cannot be measured by applause or recognition. Through humility in action, mastery transcends skill. It becomes a quiet force, a presence that moves with integrity, wisdom, and alignment. Power, when tempered by humility, is invisible yet undeniable, shaping life and circumstance with subtle, unwavering influence. The quietest messages are often the most profound. Signs, intuition, and inner knowing rarely arrive with fanfare. They appear softly, like a shadow passing across a still pond, or a whisper carried on the wind. Shaolin masters teach that the universe moves in subtlety first, revealing its guidance in silence long before action is required. To miss these whispers is to act blindly. To listen is to align with a force far greater than the self. In the temples, students learned to cultivate this attentiveness. They trained their senses not only to see and hear, but to feel the energy around them. Each breath, each heartbeat, each fleeting thought became a thread in the tapestry of understanding. The mind, quiet and disciplined, became a receptive surface. In the stillness, faint signals could be perceived, a feeling of certainty, a gentle tug of intuition, or a pattern in unfolding events that others overlooked. Silence is the key. By quieting the constant chatter of the ego, the subtle becomes audible. By holding presence in each moment, the mind recognizes guidance that would otherwise pass unnoticed. Actions then emerge not from force or fear, but from precise awareness. The timing, intention, and method are informed by this inner wisdom. Grace arises naturally, and decisions flow with clarity rather than hesitation. Listening to subtle guidance is an art of patience and discipline. It requires trust in what cannot be measured, faith in what cannot be seen, and courage to follow a path that is revealed gradually. Those who cultivate this skill move through life lightly yet purposefully, responding to each moment with clarity and alignment. In doing so, the whispers of the universe become a map, and silence itself transforms into a channel of insight, power, and divine connection. Transformation rarely announces itself. It does not arrive with fireworks or dramatic shifts, but in quiet, almost imperceptible moments. Every pause, every breath, held in awareness, contains the potential for profound change. Shaolin masters teach that stillness is fertile ground. When the mind is calm, the heart attentive, and the body present, the seeds of transformation take root naturally, without force or struggle. In the halls of ancient practice, students learned to honor these pauses. A moment of silence between movements, a patient breath before action, a careful observation of thought and emotion. These were not empty spaces but doorways. Each one offered insight, alignment, and subtle growth. The art of transformation lies not in rushing toward it, but in cultivating presence so that change can flow through, unimpeded by ego or haste. By staying silent, patient, and aware, one becomes receptive to the currents of life. Internal patterns shift, old habits dissolve, and clarity emerges. The mind sees with precision, the heart resonates with purpose, and the body moves with fluidity. In these moments, decisions that once seemed difficult become clear. Obstacles soften, and the path forward aligns with forces far greater than the self. This is the essence of being a chosen one. It is not a title of recognition, but a state of readiness, aligned with inner truth, present in each heartbeat, and attuned to the subtle guidance of the universe. The practitioner stands prepared to act at the precise moment when timing, energy, and opportunity converge. Transformation becomes not an event, but a continuous unfolding, quiet, steady, and profound. In embracing stillness and patience, mastery is not only observed in action but in the subtle evolution of the self. Every moment becomes a portal, every breath a catalyst, and every choice an expression of alignment with the highest currents of life. Silence is more than the absence of sound. It is the doorway to clarity, power, and connection with forces greater than ourselves. True mastery does not come from rushing or forcing outcomes, but from presence, restraint, and careful observation of the mind, body, and spirit. By practicing Shaolin discipline, mindfulness, and awareness, we learn to sense the quiet currents of life and honor the moments when divine guidance moves. Each day offers small opportunities to practice this art. A pause before speaking, a breath before acting, a moment of stillness to observe the mind and heart. In these practices, the ordinary transforms into the extraordinary, presence becomes strength, patience becomes insight, and silence becomes a bridge to higher understanding. As you cultivate this awareness, remember that mastery is a journey, not a destination. Even small steps of discipline and mindful attention bring profound shifts. By listening, observing, and moving with quiet intention, you align with the natural flow of life and open yourself to the subtle guidance that shapes destiny. May stillness guide your actions, and may patience and awareness light your path. Step gently into each moment, for in quiet readiness lies true power. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel Shaolin Soulfire, where ancient wisdom meets the path of personal mastery. Let us continue this journey together, one mindful step at a time.